I'm Samuel Adamson and I'm the writer of Gabriel. And what that means is I have written all of the short plays that are joined together by music that make up the evening. It's an entertainment of different stories, all set in late Restoration London, 1690 to 1695. And the pieces are either about music at the time, or they're slices of late Restoration life, which are then supported, exemplified, intensified, and underscored by music of the period, by mainly Purcell, and mainly his trumpet music as played by Alison Balsom on the natural trumpet. The idea is that there's not one element that's more important than the other, so there's orchestral music, there are songs, there are short plays, there's one or two poems, there's dancing, and Alison as a performer and all of the actors have to do all sorts of things. Alison doesn't just play, she acts and she dances, and the actors don't just act, they sing. And the English concert, the orchestra that we have on stage, is also very much part of the storytelling texture of the evening.
Everyone who's involved in it definitely feels that it's sort of extraordinary and unique, and the forces coming together. Everyone's outside their comfort zone, but in a really good way, because everyone's enjoying the quality of the play. Of course, it's fantastic. The music, of course, the music of Purcell is just glorious. So there's a lot for us to kind of relish, even when we're not quite sure what slots where and what the order is and that kind of thing. So it's a hugely challenging but enjoyable process. And this is the period of music where there is, it's a golden age for the trumpets. There is lots of great music, and we've actually expanded the repertoire a bit with things that weren't for the trumpet, but we've put them in too. But not only do we have this fantastic acoustic, which will work really well for this, it's also the involvement of the groundlings, of the entire audience in the show, because it's so kind of it's so opposite from anything I'm used to in the concert hall, where we do the thing on the stage and the audience are there in the dark, and that's something that obviously audiences here and actors here are totally used to, but for us it's new, and yet I can't wait to do it, because I think it's what's missing, and it's probably one of the reasons why classical music is seen to be this kind of very it has a sort of stigma attached to it, that some people are sort of scared of it and nervous about it, but in fact most people love classical music. They just don't realise they do. They don't realise that their favourite film has classical music in. They're sort of maybe scared of the etiquette of the concert hall, which isn't going to be a problem here, which is fabulous. I can't wait to do the first performance.
That's exactly why I was attracted to the project, because it's exactly what Alison says about her desire to find new contexts and spaces for the way she performs classical music, and there's something very egalitarian about the globe as a space, and the idea that there's a very kind of direct relationship between the musicians in particular and the music they're creating and the audience is really exciting. For me, Gabriel is an entertainment of plays about 17th century life in specifically London, and specifically musical life in London at the time, at quite an interesting period just after the Glorious Revolution. But in terms of what it feels like, the experience of it, it is not a play, it is an orchestral concert. It's a rowdy sing-along of filthy Purcell songs. There's dancing, there are hopefully some engaging stories, and there's a very exciting relationship between artists who perhaps don't meet each other very often, classical musicians and actors and solo trumpeters, and they're essentially telling a story about Purcell, about his trumpet music, and about the beauty and the ability for the trumpet to express and voice all of the great turning points in human life: death, marriage, birth, revolution, etc.
That was a long sentence.
That was a really long sentence.
That's brilliant though.